Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to wherever you may be. Welcome back to the Rainbow Pitch League. We are here for the top four, the semi-finals. And of course, you're joined by myself, Kiki, and Elaine.
Hi,
We-
hello, good morning.
that was the worst timing. I didn't realize she was mid-yawn until I looked at my screen. Um, yes, and we are joined here by two competitors. On the left, we have Amelia from Australia playing No. And on the right, we have Sofia from Brazil playing Azalea. And of course, none of this would be possible without our sponsors. So for the top eight, our sponsors are Premier Card Grading, Fab Foundry, API Source, Iswardi Therianto, Fabric, and TCG TED. So welcome.
Welcome, hello, and thank you to our sponsors. Top four, we have made it. The top four, our top four meta is Prism, New, Azalea, and KO.
Mm-hmm. What a fantastic mix. We have some older heroes here with Azalea. We have some new heroes here with No. And then, of course, we have some fan favorites as well, some super powerful heroes in Prism and KO. So, very excited. It's very diverse, which is what we're all about here in the Rainbow Pitch League. Um, and, of course, we love it when people sufficiently shuffle their decks.
Yeah.
Amelia just really representing No here with both the playmat and the hero. Um, I thought the sleeves may have been as well, which is why I started on that tangent. But
I say,
um,
Sophia also with the playmat and the marble, beautiful, beautiful marble.
oh, of course.
Um, like
And I
we
don't believe
are.
this is a matchup we've seen in this league so far, is it?
I don't I don't think so. We've seen a lot of Azalea. We've seen our fair share of New, but I don't know if we've ever seen them against each other.
Yeah, I believe it was a new mirror that we saw, and I can't remember if we saw new anywhere else. My memory escapes me at the moment. But we do have a scary little hat confirmation over on the left side.
I do think we saw another New game. No, the top 8 game was New. Was this match in the top 8?
Actually, it may have been.
It may have it may have been.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Like Azalea was in every top eight match other than the Prism Dorinthia one.
Duranthium one.
So this
Yeah,
is
so
the second time.
we have seen this before.
Yeah, but not with these players playing against each other. So we're starting off with a Spider's Bite being defended by a Lace with Frailty.
Yes, lace with frailty.
I'm just looking at the counters on Sophia's side, and she has a little aim counter as well. How good. Cool. So the fatigue game is starting early. We got the counter on the tunic. We've attacked with the Spider's Bite. It did get defended for one, but Amelia's okay with that. That is one fewer card in Sophia's deck. Sophia kindly showing us what's in the arsenal there due to the glare. That is a red in the ledger. Seek and Destroy coming in with a Release the Tension. And here we have 11 damage. Starting off small, I see.
Yeah, just a casual 11 damage. With the Seek and Destroy on hit.
Mm-hmm. And no defense reaction is going to be able to be played to this from I want
Arsenal. It's
Arsenal.
Arsenal. Yeah. Release attention.
There we go. I was gonna say hand, but I would have been wrong.
Yeah, but release attention would be from Arsenal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Those spiders bite back into place.
Mm-hmm. As I was making the assets for Twitter, um, before we did this, I had to like zoom in and find a picture of like News face. I just didn't realize how much like detail there is in like all those hair adornments. It's a very pretty card.
It's a very, very pretty card.
A very pretty card that I happened to win in a competition from Flesh and Blood Twitter. So thank you at FabTCG for that, just personally.
Yeah, wasn't that cool?
Yeah. I'm really excited for it. I already know what I'm going to do with it too. But for the meantime, we are defending with the arm piece. We're defending for a lot here. I don't know which is the card that's
We've got
blocking.
it's persuasive prognosis.
Prognostic prognosis, yay! I think
Do this every time.
I'm just fated to never know that card.
Yeah, say you just blind to that card. Like it's just not gonna happen. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen.
Is this also? No, this is a no, this is a
I think that's a
what is it? Yeah, that's the
surgical
one.
extraction. Yeah, okay.
And
So
we've
the
pitched
contract.
a we've pitched a path well traveled. Normally you'd love to play that in this scenario, kind of give you the chi, give you go again, but of course that red on the ledger is stopping anything from happening action point wise after this one attack. We're letting it hit though, so it is going to take a card from hand and banish the top card from the deck, trying to hit some blues.
Blues. However, there are only 3 blues in Sophia's deck. This is
Mm-hmm.
Azalea deck.
Yeah, I remember last time I said that, and then Amelia, in fact, hit a blue off it.
Hit a blue, yeah. It's a difficult task, but we've seen it done before.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. But a not very likely task, as you mentioned. But at the very least, you still get some disruption. You get your choice of card removed from hand, and we're removing one of those damage bonuses.
And banishing a lace with inertia and a read the glide path.
Mm-hmm. I believe that was a yellow spire sniping in Sophia's hand, so we have like a resource for the turn. We're activating the Skullbone Cross Trap, revealing a bolt-in shot.
Leave it on top. Take aim. Bolt-in shot.
Go again, 7 damage on hit, reload.
What was the other card in the hand? It was a yellow, and you just said it.
Spire sniping.
Yes.
So that's another arrow that we can guarantee on this. We won't be able to flip it over with the Skullbone Cross Wrap because that's already been used for the turn. But Sophia did leave a card on top, so if she knows that's an arrow, then she can just reload the Spire Sniping and put it to the bottom to get a dominated attack after this, should this hit. But it's not going to. And instead, we're just using that Spire Sniping for resources. 1 to load the Death Dealer, draw the card that was on top. We're going to play the card that was on top, never mind. What are we getting? Red in the ledger once again.
Ledger.
It was a pump fake. We might not be getting red in the ledger. Just kindly showing Amelia that there is more than one in the deck. But of course it is public deck lists at this point, so Amelia should know. But we are instead going for an infecting shot red. Super interesting here. There is already an infecting shot in the arsenal, as we see. So we're just going to give this dominate functionally as the purpose of this. Of course, if he could have chosen to just keep the Knock Death Whistle in hand to arsenal after this turn.
The Knock the Death Whistle was on top.
Yes, she drew it from the Death Dealer.
Amelia, so close to a blue. 1 card away from the blue.
It seems like she is so good at hunting these blues. Like, it shouldn't be this close. Amelia choosing to sink below and use the equipment to defend that. It's a super efficient way to deal with the fact that it was dominated. Sophia with 4 cards in hand, no cards in arsenal. And we have the first tunic 3 on Amelia's side. And here,
Warmonger's diplomacy.
mm-hmm, a super powerful card, great against Azalea. Kind of stops either player from playing both attack and non-attack actions. So of course you choose. We can't see what the players have chosen, but I have to assume that they both chose war. We're pitching a non-attack here. That is a Bolden shot. Drawing a card from the Death Dealer. I think that's a yellow, so we're just coming in for 3.
Yep, a yellow Bolton shot.
And we're getting a defense for 3. The only card that can buff this here is the Rain Razors. There we go, so it's coming in for 5. 2 damage coming through. It hits, we get the reload. And this is a great way to play through this kind of a great way to play through this Warmonger's Diplomacy. We have another Bolden shot. This time it's red, so it's coming in for 6, and once again we have the on-hit reload. And it's coming in for 6. This is going in the arsenal. And we're getting that last arrow. This is Drill Shot, coming in for 4 on hit, putting a -1 counter on a piece of equipment. We could see this going on the Scary Little Hat or on the Fiendel Spring Tunic should this hit.
Having the Rain Razors on the Warmonger's diplomacy turn is just really good. With these Bolton shots, I think this is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, no, this is about all you could have asked for.
Yeah.
Uh, she does have the new arm piece. It's not even new anymore, but that puts 2 cards on the bottom of your from your hand or arsenal on the bottom of your deck to give your next arrow played this turn +4. So that's one way that these azaleas have adapted to Warmonger's Diplomacy. But we didn't need there. We just had Rain Razors coming in for 6 damage that turn. That's Lexi kind of stuff.
Uh, that's really good value of the Rain Razors. We're going to see a Bonds of Agony.
Mm-hmm. So for those that aren't aware, because we haven't seen Bonds of Agony before in this league, that was a joke. What does Bonds of Agony do?
Oh, Bonds of Agony. If you get 3 attack reactions on it, it gets all kinds of abilities. +4. Um, and the banish on hit. You look at their hand, choose a card, and then you search your deck, graveyard, and banish up to 3 cards with the same name. So it's a really good way to target specific cards that you don't want to see played against you if they happen to be in hand.
And even if they're not specific cards in hand, you're still taking a card out of their hand. And it looks like we're going to go for that play because we have shuffled the deck. Thanks to Stir the Pot, we have transcended for the first time this game, and we have activated the Scary Little Hat.
Scary Little Hat.
So there's the first reaction from the hat. And here we have a Fang Strike.
Fang Strike. Well, it's not a Fang Strike, but it makes
Oh,
a Fang Strike. It's a venomous bite,
Venomous
which
Bite.
makes a Fang Strike.
Right. In my mind, it's like
Yeah.
it's a hiss and a slither token, but no, that's the opposite. That is.
Yeah. No, yeah. Venomous
But
bite with the Fang Strike.
so now this is coming in for a whopping 9 damage, as well as having taken a card from the hat, and now we're getting that Bonds of Agony trigger to banish. It looks
Lace with
like
blood.
the Lice of Blood Rot.
Lace with blood rot. This is an open deck list, but you also it's an opportunity to see what's in the deck.
And how your opponent is sideboarded specifically as well.
Yep.
Um, Very neat. And of course, if they're pitch stacking, then you mess that up a little bit too. Not the main focus per se here, but this is going to leave Sofia with just the amplifying arrow and a yellow spire sniping in hand. So there's going to be no damage bonuses. We are just playing with 2 yellow arrows, which is not the position you want to be in if you're Sofia at this point. So we're going to try to get a dominate arrow. withdrawn for the Death Dealer, and now we're looking at the top two, trying to find some sort of pressure, some sort of on-hit value that we can get off top. Instead, we are just shipping the Spire Sniping into Amelia for 3 damage. 4 damage.
Lar-
I can't count.
with a blue pick to pieces, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Coming in with the Spider's Bite
Bite.
for 1. And it's hit, so now all of the attack actions on a Sophia's hand that are going to be defended with the next time defense happens will be reduced by 1.
Surgical. I mean, no, that is a leave no witnesses with the venomous bite and the fang strike.
Do they have a red in the ledger in the arsenal? Oh,
Take aim.
Leave No Witness is kind of the best of these Majestics that banish and make copper tokens, silver tokens in this deck, in this matchup rather, purely because the deck is mostly red. And as you see, there was 2 red cards banished, so we can now repurchase the Black Tech Whisperers. This might lead us to think that she may use it in the next turn, even. Just so
Yeah,
she has a chance to buy them back
Amelia.
sooner.
Yeah, it's getting rich here. Love to see it. Opening up with a read the glide path. Like we're going to put whatever was on top on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Activate Tunic.
So activating the Death Deal here. Sofia wasn't happy to draw the card on top. I imagine it must have been another arrow, and we may be going for like a multiple buff on this amplifying arrow kind of situation here.
Yeah.
So normally 2 power is getting +9 from the cards, plus an additional 2 from its own effect, I think. I don't think it retroactively counts to read the glide path. I could be wrong. Um, so this should be 13 with a ponder on hit.
I believe so.
Not so disruptive, but 13 is still quite a lot of damage. 14
It's like
apparently does
four.
retroactively count it.
Yeah, 14.
Now, normally, if this is like a somewhat vanilla attack, you can kind of just take this if you're Amelia, but that number is just too big. Like, you're not going to be able to defend it a lot and apply some pressure, but you're going to have to start valuing your cards on a is this worth more in a blocking kind of situation? And Amelia agrees. That's an Eradicate and a Just a Nick going in front of this, defending 6, and still taking 8 damage, going down to 14. We get the Ponder token. Sofia, with 2 cards in hand, now gets her choice of the arsenal.
Looks like we're going to gain a life.
Mm-hmm.
And transcend.
Yeah, and we're given +1 to this attack after the damage has been dealt. Just a sneaky little thing you need to be aware of in the Mist Veil kind of world. You can use some of these after damage has been dealt. So if you have a path well traveled, you can use it on your opponent's attack after. Actually, that's a bad idea. But the grind the tips scales, you can use on your opponent's attack after the damage, or the drop in the ocean, you can use on your own attack after the damage. But here we're getting a surgical extraction.
It looks like we paid for silver to draw a card and drew the surgical extraction.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. We're not getting the head activation. The hero ability on Nu has very little effect on this matchup.
Yeah.
And you can't activate the hat without attacking. So here we go. It does take 2 cards out of hand. So it's kind of the best you could hope for in the situation if you're Amelia. We aren't going to be able to buy back those Blackjack Whisperers immediately now, though. Here we have the Premeditate. That is an infecting shot.
A lace with frailty.
And once again, just 11 damage.
And with some on hits.
Mm-hmm. The Frailty to turn the daggers off. Turn any arsenal cards off if your opponent's got the Codex of Bloodrot. And of course, the Bloodrot itself to deal 2 more damage. So Amelia was kind of prized into blocking me the whole hand there. That was kind of too much value, especially with the Potter token being drawn. Sofia just kind of built her own Codex of Frailty in that turn.
That's what
If
I
it
was about
hit.
to say. Yeah, pseudo Codex of Frailty.
I have a notification that says I've lost connection to the server and it's attempting to reconnect. So who knows if the sound is going to be messed up here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't see Kiki's voice anymore, which is great. So we've got a Seek and Destroy and a Lace with Frailty with a red in the ledger. Okay, yeah. Did I pause? No, the stream is not paused. Do you see the shadow moving? Okay. Okay. Yeah, just try and come back in. Sorry, technical difficulties on Kiki's side, so I am here alone. So this is the coming in for 11 damage with the red in the ledger, the lace with frailty, and the seek and destroy. There's some powerful on hits here, so I'm imagining we're gonna see this fully blocked by Amelia. We've got a Codex of Frailty. Is that 2 codexes? Oh, that's 2 codexes. Frailty going down to 8. Let's see. Are you back in here? No, Kiki's not. All right. That's okay. We've got a pick to pieces coming in. Just a blue, but we are going to play a preserve tradition and transcend. I imagine we'll see a scary hat activation. Yup, and banishing a knock the death whistle. Taking 2. Can I send you a link again? Yes, I can try. Okay. Coming in with a lace of frailty and a remorseless. This is coming in for 8 on hit, inertia token, and the remorseless effect also that Amelia will lose a life for each action that card that they play during their turn.
Pretty big when you're an 8 life.
Yeah, pretty big when you're in 8 life. Are you back? I think you're back.
I think I'm back. Hello and
Oh,
welcome to
hi.
the Rainbow Pitch League.
Welcome to the Rainbow Pitch League, Kiki. We're just commentating a game here.
Just in the middle of a game. We have a cheeky little Snapdragon Scalers, and we have Codex of Frailty. Both players love this card, but usually it's when it's on their side. Amelia going to have to lose the last card in hand here. I actually defended 3 cards in the first attack. If I'm not mistaken, that's the 3rd Codex she's defended with as well. Am I wrong?
That is because we just saw, well, while you were gone, but still watching, we had
There's a
the
double
double codex
codex, right?
blocks. Yep,
Yeah.
double codex block.
Well, Sophia being so kind, so generous, giving Amelia the option to still get a card from the graveyard, put it back into the arsenal, getting her own codex triggered functionally. It's just going to be a little bit weaker because the frailty is going to be on her playmat rather than Sophia's. I say this, but the frailty's actually on Sofia's playmat, just in Amelia's direction.
Yeah, just in Amelia's direction. Ooh. Taking 3 here. Now, getting the blood rot pox also.
And there's no cards in hand, so you're going to take that too,
Go to
as well.
1.
Yeah.
I mean, your life is this low, you're already a little bit uh in danger when Azalea can just kind of dominate things if needed.
Mm-hmm. Did that remorseless hit? No. Okay.
No, no.
And here we're getting the defending for. Is that a non-attack action underneath that tunic?
I think it was an amplifying arrow.
An amplifying arrow.
I think. I could
Right.
be wrong.
She may have missed the frailty token on the other side, but here we have another codex of frailty. Immediately having no arsenal. Now the codex might not be so good here for Sofia, as you only have 3 cards in hand. This could just be a kind of blind Azalea, and there we go. And I think that's an infecting shot. No, it's a Bolton
Aim.
shot.
It's a Bolton shot with dominate and go again. What is this? 7?
7 damage with
Or
dominate.
is that?
Amelia
That's
has no arsenal.
a yellow, so it might
Oh, it's
be
6.
6 damage. Dominate.
That's still pretty good. You're kind of reliant on having a defense reaction in hand at this exact moment. Otherwise, the game is kind of over. Amelia doing a quick Rain Razors count. There was 1 in Banish. 2. So Amelia now having to think about Rain Razors potentially. But I don't know if you can afford to play around it at this point. You're so far behind, you just kind of have to hope that Sofia just doesn't have it.
Yeah, and this is dominated, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Like, if your plans to play around it by going, like, unmovable and equipment, let's say, like, you're committing so many resources to this, only for Sofia to, like, just death dealer you, potentially.
Right, right. Thinking on the block here, but I think that is very valid when you are in Amelia's position at 1 life, facing down a dominated arrow. We are going to see a red unmovable.
Mm-hmm. So we have chosen to play around the Endless Arrows, not Endless Arrows, the Rain Razors. Um,
That is an
Blocking
endless
for
arrow.
6. Apparently, I am unintentionally calling shots here, but yeah, Endless
Yeah.
Arrows taking 2 cards in hand here, leaving Amelia with just 1 card in hand. So it's kind of where that decision point I mentioned kind of comes in. Like, if you don't play around the Rain Razors there, you can play the Unmovable in the first one, and then defend 1 card plus Tunic on the second one. Granted, your position's still not great. Like, you're not applying any pressure, but you have 1 card in hand rather than 0. But you're just grasping onto anything at this point. And of course, you just lose if they have the Rain Razors there anyway.
Yeah. Sophia's Sophia's deck is getting pretty thin, but when you're already at 1 life, I'm not sure how possible the fatigue plan is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it wasn't an arrow. Read the glide path.
That definitely helps in this case if you're Amelia, not having a dominated
Definitely
attack
helped.
coming in. And there's the Rain Razors. I can't tell if that was drawn this turn or not. Somebody could probably correct me if it was or wasn't. Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness.
gosh. Well,
It's just
okay.
17 damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Amelia throwing the hand down, saying good game. Congratulations to Sophia, our first finalist of the Rainbow Pitch League for season 2.
Our very first finals. And how exciting. Um, Again, just want to stress that this is an international level event, and we have somebody from Brazil coming out and taking out a spot in the finals. Congratulations to Amelia for making the top 4 as well. Fantastic effort. Lovely to see you play. Um, but unfortunately, this Azalea train just could not be stopped in this round.
Yeah, so
Super
powerful. So
exciting.
many big arrows, so many on hits. It's just a little
Yeah.
too much to deal with.
That's kind of been the story
Yeah.
across like this league as a whole so far. Like Azalea's kind of been running away with games, or even if they've been close, just throwing all these massive haymakers at the opponent. With
Yep,
that being
Azalea's been a
said,
popular
oh,
choice. See you in the finals. Thank you
we'll
for
see you
watching.
in the other top 4 game.
All right. Stop.